Hello everyone, today we are running the 2099 Hawk deck, and I actually got beaten by this in the Infinite Conquest. I was doing the timed run from Proving Grounds through the Infinity Conquest, and I was on the last match. It came down to a 3 bar of health per player, and we ended up losing to a beautiful 2099 play. No, okay, 2099 bounces over, that's fine. We're okay there. What do they have in this right lane? The Hawk. Okay, the Hawk is massive. But it did inspire me. We are going to take that inspiration. We're going to take this onto the ladder, see if we can be as successful as they were. We're going to jump straight into the Infinity Conquest with 2099 with a movement hybrid that looks to use utility plus disruption of like the rocks, the reduction in Zabu to get as much benefit as possible. We want to add disruption, we want to add counter tools, and we want to just get value on the board as often, as quickly as possible. So our first opponent is going to be Rich 24. The first location is the Dream Dimension. We get Iron Fist. I don't necessarily want to or need to play it here though. So we're going to wait, we're going to skip, we're going to play Zabu on 2. That will allow us to get a lot of reach into the big house, thankfully. We now get Vulture, so that's going to be fantastic to use on turn 4. We can do Iron Fist plus Vulture to really start enabling that. They're running a Wolverine, so a Destroy deck means our 2099 is much less impactful. Hawk is going to be great in the Onslaught Citadel. If they get very many disruptions or destroys, then we have to be very, very cautious and careful about a null. And so we'll play that one by ear. We have initiative, so let's go ahead and yank the Polaris away. Or not the Polaris. We're going to yank the Bucky Barnes or Wolverine away from the destruction. I assume that they destroyed this turn in this lane. And so let's go ahead and do that. We'll also play our Iron Fist. If we top deck 2099, we could destroy the other one that's remaining. I don't know that we want to, though. We do pull the Wolverine out. They're only going to get 1 destruction in the Bucky Barnes with their Venom play. A Destroy deck, one of the hardest things about these matches is getting a feel for every intricate piece of the opponent's deck. Because it could be win or lose. That could be what causes you to either be able to win dramatically or end up losing. We're going to play Vulture. We played Iron Fist last, so that's going to jump over here. On the last turn, we're going to be able to do like a Korg and a Hawk in the right lane. They do have quite a few cards in their deck still. Killmonger comes down, clears out only our Iron Fist though. Not a big play for them at all. We could... I mean, what do we think they do here? We could do this number. That'd be massive. So 1 card destroyed on our side is Iron Fist. 1 on theirs is the Bucky Barnes. So only 2. Death is still expensive. I think we pull the Vulture over. We go Hawk here, and we call it a day. Let's see what their end game is. Okay, so Ghost Spider is going to pull Vulture out. Do they just go with like a Destroy, like a Arnim Zola here maybe? Destroyer? Arnim Zola. Okay. We should have that beaten easily. So we get the early 2 in our Infinite Conquest grind. We played we played a couple and recorded a couple of videos in gold, and I finally decided to jump back into Infinite. Like, these tickets take so long to get that I want to be mindful of how many attempts we take it with different decks. And I want to make sure they have good shots to get all the way through. And I think the only way, there's a lot of like talk of 2099 being really bad. And honestly, I think he's very hit and miss. He's not one that you're going to get value out of every single game. He's not low curve where you can easily play him every single game. But I do think he has merit in his own regard. So we can Zabu into Miniaturized Lab. We don't have heavy movement, so we don't have to worry about that. Also, we have to be mindful of how our deck looks to the opponent. And early on, it looks like ours is a pretty heavy movement style deck. I don't think we ever want to do that. Let's do the Vulture. Next turn, we'll go Spider to move this over. The Polaris is tempting, just to make sure that they don't get those early disruptions, but they would end up getting our Polaris. I don't necessarily want that. And so the Deathlock does come down. We end up getting the Rock, which should be okay. And then there was Rockslide on 4. We can Ghost Spider to move the Vulture. I think I would rather prioritize the disruption. Like stopping them from drawing their Galactus, their Nimrod, their Arnim Zola could be better than just moving a card once, I think. Let's go let's go Cloak Vulture or Cloak and Polaris. I guess we can go Cloak and Polaris here. It's going to give us a cheap Miles. We have the Shang-Chi for a counterplay. I don't know. We are going to move one of their cards over. So maybe they destroy their Winter Soldier by mistake here. The Nimrod. Okay. A double disruption or double destruction here. They've already played Deathlock, but they could have the Carnage. The Carnage and the Venom. The issue is that becomes like tough to calculate. Okay, so they do a Venom here. Nimrod here and here. They do a Carnage in... Or they do a Carnage here. It bumps back here and here. We leave Oscorp Tower alone. That is not our win lane. We need to do Ghost Spider to move the Polaris. Hawk and Miles, or Hawk and Miles? A Destroyer also becomes a pretty big issue. It's going to be 10 plus 5, so it's 15. We don't overcome the Destroyer, I don't think. But we also win the right lane as a result. I'm not sure. We're going to stick it out. Too much calculations. They do only go one, so Destroyer... If it's Destroyer, depending on where the Wolverine goes, that's a lot to invest into that play, because Wolverine staying in the right lane does not give you the win. Nimrod in the left, Wolverine in the right, we do take the 4. We were stressing over that because a lot of that comes down to like what their play ends up being, where it ends up bouncing. Luckily, we were able to overcome that. Had they not done the Destroyer, though, we did have a good amount of power in the Eternity range. We will gladly take it. It's an early jump in the Infinity Conquest. Oh, is that... Wait, down to 4? Did we take them for 4 the first time around? That 2 times in a row we took them for 4? Okay, we'll take it. The Vault becomes kind of questionable. But we do have Iron Fist to move the Vulture over. We could actually... Iron Fist, Vulture, and then Cloak. Let's go ahead and do that. They did lean in on an Arnim Zola on the last turn. Of round 1. That's what it was. So, okay, so the Bucky Barnes, they're going for destruction of the Bucky Barnes over there. Ooh, Project Pegasus is scary. We've already committed to 2, so there's no point in not seeing this turn play out. It's just unfortunate. We gotta do Vulture and then Ghost Spider. We can actually do some really big enabling. We could do Vulture, Ghost Spider, Cloak. He's going to go around the world in 80 days and then come back to the middle eventually. I wonder what they go with. Do they go ahead and go Nimrod? I assume this is a Shuri Nimrod deck that maybe runs a Chavez for that consistency driver. I've seen some of those floating around. They do go ahead and go Nimrod, so they're going to have a lot of Nimrods on the board. Can we overpower that? I don't know. It becomes a better Doctor Doom at that point. This is the first time we've seen 2099. My God, I just realized we have not seen him at all. Vulture, Rockslide for some consistency or some disruption, and we'll go from there. We're going to have a really big Vulture here. It just comes down to winning one additional lane. If we can get our Hawk big enough, then maybe we can do it. They do go double Nimrod into a Shuri. They haven't ramped, though. What are they doing? A Destroyer into like an Arnim Zola honestly wouldn't be fantastic. Plus they haven't ramped, so they can't do that play anyways. I don't know what their play here is. But we do want to grab initiative if we can. We want to make sure we grab initiative. So we're actually going to play twice in the left lane. That way if they do play a card here, we can overpower it. They may skip here into a Destroyer, which would send 12 power here, 12 here, which I don't think is the winning play. They do skip into the destroyer, the 30 power destroyer, right? Which is good. That's fantastic over here. But then you only have 12 power in this lane. Since we do have initiative, we probably could have... No, we couldn't have... We never could have dropped initiative. Okay. Let's go Polaris. Polaris and C. The double destroyer, I think is just... Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting play to gamble your infinite ticket on, but we'll take it. We will take it. That is game number 1 in the Infinity Conquest. Let's see if we can take 2099 all the way. Maybe we'll even get to play him once or twice. Like that one definitely wasn't a showcase of 2099. That was more of like the rocks and just overall value. Maybe we'll get to play him. Let's jump straight over into battle number 2. All right, jumping straight into battle number 2, we have the beautiful 2099 Hawk. And our next opponent is AceKnight. Let's hope that they don't ace us. We have the Iron Fist, which is a good start, but we don't necessarily want to play it early on unless we have like a specific reason to. The only card for ours of ours that gets bonus from movement is Vulture or 2099. And we do have Vulture in hand, so that's a good start. Never mind, we're going to shuffle it into our deck after this next turn. That's unfortunate. But we can play Hawk out. We don't know what kind of deck they're running, but we can get our Hawk on the board. Maybe if we draw Rockslide. Ooh, Ant Maze is kind of cool. Beautiful, beautiful Vulture value for us. The Korg Disruption and the Cloak seems enticing, but let's go Hawk into mid. Final answer. I thought about doing it into the vault, but that also stacks our ongoing cards. Ooh, the Wave is wild. Are you running some kind of Galactus list? If so, there's no telling if you get your Galactus here or not. 2099 is kind of cool. Let's go Vulture. We do have Iron Fist plus 2099, so we can move him on turn 5. Unless they go Galactus here, then we can't. So Vulture moves over into the vault. He's going up to 11. They do go ahead and trigger their Odin though. Interestingly enough. What are they running? What kind of deck are they running? What kind of cook are they cooking? We're gonna go 2099 in Ant Maze. Just for the threat of the movement of the Heimdall shift, making them less likely to play into the Atilan location. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. What are they doing? We hit their Vulture. They move our big card with their Magneto. Wow. What did they do on this last turn? All right, we're going to do Cloak, Miles, and Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, we have initiative, so it won't trigger anything. But we're going to try and overcome the 7. If it is Galactus, we're going to try and overcome it. Okay, they do end up retreating. We took too long thinking through their potential plays. They ended up spam emoting us. We gotta do slow and meticulous where we can. Let's do Korg. We do have Korg Zabu, which is beautiful. We have the Ghost Spider enabler, so we can always do Ghost Spider plus 2099 on 5. No, we cannot do that. We can, however, do 2099 on turn 3 into a Ghost Spider on 4. Pretty big line. Especially with them having like restricted access to cards that can be played, can be put onto the board. Let's go 2099 in Muir Island. Let's see if they fight for a location or not. Ooh, the Lockjaw rotation is interesting. So it's a high Evo rotation deck. We just didn't see any piece of that early on last game. So the Chavez comes in the left lane, which is big value for them. However, we get the Shang-Chi. We're going to take out their Chavez. And I assume that they're not going to fight for 2 locations here. And so we're just going to slap the Shang-Chi on the board, take out their rotated Chavez. And we have initiative, which isn't fantastic, but I think it's okay. I think they only play for 1 additional location here. They rotate 1 more time. So depending on what it flips into, they could still win. The wave is going to flip into Hopefully nothing brutal on us. Okay. All right, AceKnight is I'm a pretty calm guy, and they're spamming snap on me. Like, I get it, man. Let's go ahead and we'll rinse and repeat. We're not gonna let it get under our skin. We're gonna try and come over the top of it. Like, I wish that 4 would have fell in our direction, but we didn't. We're gonna go ahead and mute them. Like, they're still spam snapping. I've already clicked next. They're just enjoying their Jubilee pool. That's all right. We have Korg starting off, which is great against the Lockjaw rotations, and adding that extra disruption. We can also potentially hit 2099 to destroy like their Dracula, if that's what they end up going with. We have Hawk. I think we just do Cloak. I think we're just going to go value for Cloak. We're just looking to maintain initiative priority, and we know that a Lockjaw rotation deck typically doesn't do a lot before turn 3. So we do get 2099 here. Wakanda's actually really unfortunate though. As a rotation place, just in case, they may Lockjaw into Quantum Realm. Just in case they do that, let's Iron Fist. Next turn, if they do, 2099 is going to break away their Lockjaw before it can rotate anything. Oh no, the wave. The wave is wild. I don't like the wave here. Because of that, we're not going to move the 2099. Like, we get a little value, but I'd rather add the rocks, just in case they're going any kind of rotation, disruption, anything like that. I assume this is Evolved Hulk. We probably should have done here and then pushed over into the left lane in hindsight, but it is what it is. Ooh, the Dr. Doom early. Okay. I know that they have an Odin eventually to be able to hit it again. Let's go Hawk, and then we go Miles, and then depending on what we draw, we'll go from there. Okay, so the Wasp is scary, but at least our Hulk, at least our Dark Hawk is big over here. They're gonna pull out nothing because they've already played the Wasp out. Interesting that they played it early, I guess just to cover in case. An Odin to re-trigger Doom would be devastating here, but an Evolved Hulk would also be devastating into one of the other lanes. Do we think they pulled the Odin? We had a lot of disruption in their deck. I don't think they get the Odin. We're going to lock into mid and try and overcome the power. If they go Evolved Hulk in the right lane, then we can overcome Wakanda. If they do Odin, though, we won't be able to win. They'll win right and middle. Just comes down to a gut read with some of these decks. We do get the retreat. We need a couple more like those, but we also need to play them aggressively. We need to play them where they count. And this is like a mirror match of where I lost in Infinite on my challenge. We were running the high Evo Lockjaw. They were running this, and we got absolutely blattered. Oscorp Towers going to be avoided until later. They do get at least 1/3 cost. We get our Zabu. Beautiful. We have a turn 2 play to lean in on. Vulture's decent for 3, and we'll see from there. Okay, so everything has to be played into the Avengers compound on turn 5. So let's go Vulture. Next turn, we could do like a Ghost Spider plus a Cloak. Would be pretty decent. I think they do go Lockjaw rotation here, which is unfortunate. They had both of them early on. It's unfortunate because that is going to be a really big high roll. It's still beatable, but this is incredible high roll. We do have our Shang-Chi that they don't know about yet. So maybe there's hope for us yet. I like the idea of doing the Ghost Spider and the Cloak, but I also really like the disruption from Rockslide. I think we need to do the Vulture movement though. No, I don't want to do Cloak necessarily. All right, change my mind. We're going to do Rockslide to the left. They go Thor, big Thor. If we can draw into our Shang-Chi, beautiful value, being able to take out the Hulk. And it may potentially a big evolved Thor. There's the Shang-Chi. Exactly what we wanted. So now how do we do this one? We could yank a card over with Ghost Spider. I would completely cap this lane though. Maybe we don't move a card? Nah, we'll go ahead and move a card. We'll Ghost Spider, move the Rock Slide. We're gonna do Captain America in the right lane. I think they do probably Jane Foster here. We don't get any benefit from the rockslide movement, but that's okay. We have our Shang-Chi to take this one out. They will have initiative going to this turn, so by pulling the rockslide out of the left lane, we're going to be able to drop initiative. If they do the Mjolnir, then this will be big. If they do the Lockjaw rotation, this is also potentially really big. Do they fight for this lane as well? Probably, right? Can we overcome 10? We get to 9. Unfortunate. We're gonna retreat out of that one. Look for a better one. We're gonna mute them before they start spamming. All right, so we are going into high stakes rounds, where these mean a great deal. Project Pegasus is fantastic for them. Unfortunately fantastic. Let's do just rockslide though. Just rockslide, add some disruption, and then we'll see from there. Ooh, they go Dr. Doom on 1. So they are going with the go wide version. Mine, I went with the greedier, like Dracula version. Go wide is decent as well. Let's go with an Iron Fist. We can hit Vulture over into mid. We can hit it over into the left lane. We may even hit it over into the left lane and then pull it back. We'll see. Okay, Vibranium Mines are decent for us, especially with the Hawk in hand. They won't be able to play many cards or any cards over there without having the risk of just buffing up our Hawk dramatically. So they do get Thor. So they're looking to do like a Mjolnir and an Odin to go doubly wide. Okay, we're gonna do Ghost Spider to pull the Vulture. We haven't seen 2099, and that was one of the biggest pieces that countered me whenever we were running against this deck was the 2099. Being able to be used to pop the Thor, pop the Dracula, pop the Lockjaw. We haven't seen that here. We're gonna throw our Hawk out. We're gonna rock out with our Hawk. And they do get Odin down on the board. Not into the wave lane, but into the Hellfire Club lane. It's unfortunate. We have initiative, so Shang-Chi's not fantastic. We can tie this lane if they didn't go anything else. Oh, man. But they have to have drawn into one of their 2 Mjolnirs. I mean, on this last turn, they didn't have a chance. But did they have it before the last turn is the question. They couldn't have played it even if they did. Let's retreat out. So we're looking at 4 bars of health to 8. We need a solid opening. We need a solid hand. I still haven't seen 2099. Like in all... This is match number 2. In both of these, 2099 has been very elusive. Like it's super unfortunate. So wave could be an issue in Morag for getting power into Morag. They do have the ability to go wide, and so it could be a potential issue for us. We're gonna go Cloak for the tempo. We have Polaris, we have Vulture. Savage Lands is also unfortunate. We're gonna go Polaris to pull one of the Raptors over. If they do a Lockjaw, at least this gives them one less lane to flip. They have a really good chance of capping it out and getting the Raft resource though, which is the only issue. They do go with an early wave. Unfortunately, I forgot about the Raptors. They'll have the free Raft resource to get a lot of reach into Morag. Fortunate. Let's go Rockslide. They do... What do they do? Evolved Hulk? Evolved Hulk in the left lane is big. We do have our Shang-Chi to try to counteract that. Gives us decent reach into Morag. I don't know if this is the proper play, but oh well, that's what we're going with. They do a Jubilee in Savage Land. I'm not sure what happened there. They didn't see our play. They didn't see what they pulled. Not sure what happened. We'll take it. Brings them down to 6. So it's a grueling battle back and forth, but we're still in it for now. Just one bad game or one good game in our favor could turn this thing around. Eternity range. We do finally see 2099. So let's go Zabu into mid. We have to worry about Jotunheim. They don't have a Dracula, or at least we haven't seen it. And so their tech slot is the Wave. Some people do Dracula, some people do Killmonger, some people do Wave, some people do Spider-Ham. Can't play high, Cerebro, not going to be beneficial. We do get Rockslide though, which is beautiful. Let's go ahead and do the Rockslide. Add as much disruption as early as possible. That way if they do a Lockjaw rotation, it's going to be unimpactful. So now we can do... Could do Cloak, we could do Polaris to move a card. Let's go ahead and do that. We move the Rock from the Eternity range over into Camp Lay High. Next turn, we can always place Spider-Man and Cloak onto the board. Be pretty decent. What do they go with here? Okay, Thor is big. It gives them several ways to get power wide or tall power. But if we go 2099 and Cloak, we won't be able to do Spider-Man on the last turn, but we could do 2099, move over Shang-Chi. Could potentially be the route. They will move the Rock, and so that becomes an issue as well. Would we rather just play, I don't know, 2099, Miles, and Korg instead? We'll do 2099 last just in case. Nah, we're not going to have the space to move them anyways, so I guess that's fine. We will do it last. If they play a big card here, if they grab initiative and then they aim to play in Jotunheim, a Ghost Spider top deck could be huge. Wait, they only play into Jotunheim. Do they have a Professor X? No. Jane Foster, okay. Our Shang-Chi is unimpactful. Let's go this. 2099 is going to move over. Guarantee it destroys the Jane Foster. Cloak in the right lane. We still a relative low amount of power though. But they're going to have to invest more than one card into the Eternity range. So that's where their power would have to go. I will risk our life on this. I'll watch through split fingers. Okay, so we do win the left lane. Beautiful. Can they get a bad rotation? A bad flip here would be phenomenal. The Wasp, wait. But they pulled out the Jubilee. Wait, I'm so confused. They pulled out the Mjolnir. Why didn't they play it? I mean, they could have won this lane. We won the other two because of the high Evo flip. What? Okay, this is a stressful round number 2. Oh my gosh, stop. AceKnight, stop. So this is now an all or nothing. Every single game is an all or nothing. Fortunately for us, we have the Zabu, we have Rockslide for that early disruption in the locked rotation, which is one of the most devastating things for a locked rotation deck is the potential RNG bad flips. So it makes it a lot harder to navigate your Jubilee pulls, your locked rotations, those sorts of plays. Wakanda Embassy is decent for us. Let's go ahead and play Rockslide into Moir Island. We're going to pump as much as we can there as early as often, or as early as possible. We do have Ghost Spider to be able to pull maybe a 2099 around the board. The Lockjaw comes down, the Wasp comes down. Can they get a Rock immediately? That would be beautiful. But Doctor Doom is also really, I mean, it's good for them, not good for us. 2099 is big. We can do both as a surprise way to destroy some of their cards on 5. And then we have Hawk to lean in on. So let's go Polaris here. We're not going to pull anything, but just to get extra power in that lane. Thor over here is big. A bit of a Thor subject for us. But what we can do is we'll go with the 50-50 here. I'm okay with the 50-50. Does it do it? Does it do it? Does it not here? So let's go. Let's go. We're feeling lucky. We're feeling lucky. They have initiative, but they do play in mid. They cap out their mid location. So that could be a good location for Shang-Chi. They pull out Chavez. Okay, Shang-Chi-able. And then a Rock. Beautiful value for us so far. 2099 comes down and smacks the Doombot, unfortunately, not the Thor. It's a Thor subject, guys. I don't want to talk about it. We're done talking about this. We are only 3 down here, which is pretty good. They don't do the... If they do Mjolnir, they don't also play for this location, for that location, right? So we just stack our power into this left lane. If they do Evolved Hulk in this same lane, that we look a little silly, but I think we go all in on this left lane. Left and middle. Just one card. Magneto. Oh. Magneto's devastating. We win the right lane, though, and so we also win the left lane. Magneto could have been devastating, but it wasn't quite enough. We do come back and win this one. Through a lot of spam emotes, through a lot of trials and tribulation. I don't know, we always start so low, and then as we learn the deck, we can adjust our play to it. But if we get too low too fast, we don't have enough time to adjust. We do bring that one back. I'm not really sure if they threw on purpose. I don't know. Not playing the Mjolnir, I still don't understand. Maybe their hand was full and they didn't draw Mjolnir from Jane Foster because their hand was full because of Wasp. That's a potential. We will go ahead and take the win. That is win number 2 in the Infinite Conquest run. I thought we were done and dusted in battle number 2, but that is battle number 2. We will take it. We finally got a couple of triggers of 2099 showing his worth. Let's go ahead and take it. We will jump into battle number 3. All right, going straight into battle number 3, let's go ahead and queue up with 2099 Hawk. All right, next up we have Kyrov. The first location is going to end up being Necrotia. All right, so they're running a high Evo deck. It's not fair, but on the PC client, you can see the orange shimmer right up here. It is what it is. We're going to go ahead and skip on turn 1. We do have Vulture and Iron Fist to use. And so, ooh, Elysium is also wild. What kind of high Evo deck are they running, though? Is my biggest concern. Let's go with this for now. That's going to enable a cheap Miles next turn. The Thor. Okay, so it is another Lockjaw rotation. We got right out of it. It's like, last I checked, it's been a couple days, but last I checked, it was like 25% of the meta. It's beatable. But with good play, it's a very tedious process. So we do get rockslide here. Beautiful. And Miles actually reduced down to 0? I didn't think he operated that way. I'll gladly take it though. Let's go Miles, and then we go rockslide. Colossus is actually kind of cool in Necrotia because he won't be able to have his power reduced, so he's at least 3 power. Not a bad hub resource. They do have Wasp, but they just play outright. What? I feel like we have to snap into that though. Just playing the Wasp? It's wild. Alright, we're going to play Colossus. We're going to play 2099 in the left lane. If they try to go for like a cheeky Professor X lock, or maybe even like a Spider-Man play into Professor X lock, we have our bases covered here a little bit. Wait, they don't play anything. What is Kyrov doing? Maybe their hand just doesn't support it? Possibility. 7 cards. We did hit them with the rock slide. We are going to keep them guessing with the 2099 play. We could either move Vulture to get a buff in the right lane. We could move the 2099 to try to destroy their Thor, or we could move nothing. We're going to keep them on their toes. We're going to keep them guessing. They do finally play a card. They play for the left lane. They play the Infinite, which is infinitely worse than anything else they could have done because... Oh, wait. Do they move the Infinite? We may have stabbed ourselves in the back. I'm still going to go Shang-Chi in the left lane and hope that they don't move their Infinite. We're going to move our 2099. If they do move their Infinite, there's a chance that it takes it out there. I don't know what kind of cook this guy is cooking, but I like it. I like his style. It's very similar to, at least what I can tell, the high Evo deck, but I like not having to rely on Infinite so much. Maybe their hand was just really bad. Maybe this is a high Evo Lockjaw rotation and they just happen to hit the Infinite. I don't know. We will take it. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next round. So we do get 2099. 2099 adds a lot of uncertainty to the opponent, and that is hard to play around. So then they have to start playing this guessing game of where is that power truly going to be, and it's such a brutal game to be playing. Okay, so we have Iron Fist. We have Vulture. Great start. Unless we don't want to grab initiative, then bad start. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to Iron Fist and we'll see from there. I know I want to play Vulture next, but I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So we have to play into Pet Mansion now. Vulture will move over into the Nexus. My hesitation with that is that our counterplays are now less impactful. We could do one of these, the Zabu and the Ghost Spider next to pull it back out. But let's go Vulture. Let's go Vulture here. Since we are forced to play in this location, they don't play on 3 again. So no Thor, no Lockjaw. Interesting. Definitely interesting. Zabu and Ghost Spider's a play. Hawk is also a play because we'll have to play here next and then here after that. So maybe we go Hawk. If they play for the Nexus this turn, that's fine. We can go Zabu. No, we can just do 2099 this turn. Next turn, we could do Ghost Spider and Shang-Chi. I don't know. It really depends on if they start fighting for this location or not. The Lockjaw rotation. So they are fighting for it. That's good to know. Maybe we can drop initiative. We can hit them with the 2099 and a Shang-Chi, which would be beautiful. Ooh, the Dracula. Scary. Scary Dracula play. 2099 also becomes very scary for them. They haven't snapped, though, so we're just going to let this one ride. The Jubilee will pull into something. We'll see what it pulls into. Thor is both good and not good for him. Do we... I mean, this isn't bad. 50-50. Hit the Dracula and jackpot. Hit the Lockjaw. Maybe jackpot, depending on what Dracula pulls. I like it. We're going to go ahead and lock it in for 1 extra. I'm not going to snap into it because it is very RNG based, but let's see. What do we slap here? We slap the Dracula down. We are going to shuffle 2 rocks into our deck to make these rotations that much less impactful. Hopefully, they pull a couple of rocks here. That's my biggest hope. That's my biggest hope and dream. There is a rock. Turn number 1, they wrote, then they also drop a Chavez. Okay, we are beautifully positioned here. We will take that. 2099, when he shows up, he shows up. Let's go. We're going to jump over into the next battle. They're down early. They're not out. They're not low enough where it's very hard for them to come back, but it is good to get an early lead for once. The Raft, we're not really going to be able to fight for. We could play Iron Fist. We could try a couple of additional cards, but we usually can't do much in there. We can do Korg and Iron Fist. Maybe we top deck Vulture. Worth a shot. Top deck Vulture. Top decking Polaris isn't bad either. We can just shoot Polaris over. We have the Miles Morales to cap it out. And then we can pull it back out with our Ghost Spider. That's beautiful. And then we can clone the resource in the cloning vats. We like it. We like it a lot. Now, they could have a good hand here. They could have a better cloning vats hand. They could do their Dracula a couple of times. Their Lockjaw a couple of times, plus the rotations. We don't know. But I do like being able to have this Raft resource capped out and then pulling it back out as well. Ooh, they go Lockjaw into the Raft. I really want... I don't know. I want to do Ghost Spider. I want to do the Miles plus Ghost Spider. But I also like the Rock Disruption. Knowing they have the Lockjaw in that lane, that early disruption is so critical and so brutal. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with the Rockslide, a free living Tribunal. We might not even use that free resource that we got. I mean, we could play it a couple times in cloning vats. It becomes pretty decent. Wow. Okay. So the Dracula is big in the Lockjaw lane. Let's pull the card out. Or we could do this. We could just leave this lane capped. Next turn, we could do another Hawk and another Living Tribunal. It's not big. It's not great. Probably not even really good. Can it win? don't know. I don't know. Depending on what the Dracula pulls into, this isn't a lot of power. I almost don't want to use Living Tribunal, but it's free, and we get to play it twice is the thing. Let's go ahead and do this. They rotate one more card here. What do they end up rotating? Living Tribunal come back and stab us in the back. Rude. Thor comes down. They're not going to grab initiative because of the Living Tribunal, though. Okay, Wasp double hits and rotates into a rock, please. That is not a rock. I mean, it's for 2 extra cubes here. This is a big pull. This is a big lane. I don't think we overcome any of this, right? Another Hawk is big, though. So that's another pretty substantial amount of power. So it's 12, 18, 22 split across. It's 20. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. I've stuck around for less. Let's gamble. Second free Living Tribunal. Second Hawk. Second cloak, or I guess the first cloak. Okay, the rock, and then the Jubilee reduces our Hawks, but can it pull into a dud? Okay, Mjolnir, that's doable though, right? Like, we just win off of that. Beautiful. We actually sweep all 3 lanes with the double Living Tribunal. Beautiful way to continue this infinite run, this Infinity Conquest run. These are stressful, man. 2 bars of health left. Let's see if we can close this one down. Get through the Infinity Conquest. Battle number 5 seems to be my mortal enemy. That is where we always seem to falter and fail. So Warrior Falls is not great for us, destroying the weakest card over there. The Korg, we have the rockslide already. Let's go ahead and do Cloak for tempo. I guess it doesn't really matter. We don't have anything for 3 anyways. So we are going to go ahead and skip. Vormir is wild. Oh man, these are awful locations. Let's go ahead and do the Cloak Sacrifice. That way we can play Rockslide, we can play 2099 and have a little bit more leeway. What do they destroy here? Wasp? If it's Wasp, that's a bold play. No, they get a rock right away. That's unfortunate. I would say I'm sorry, my friend, but I am not. That is one of the downsides. That is one of the downsides of a Lockjaw rotation deck. So let's go with Rockslide. They go with their Lockjaw. We're adding 2 more rocks into the mix. We have the Iron Fist plus the 2099 combo queued up, ready to go. Go ahead and queue this. We'll do Hawk plus Iron Fist. We will likely have initiative going to this last turn though. And so 2099 in the left lane won't be big. Depending on, ooh, they rotate the Jane Foster though? Into the high Evo. Unfortunate. We're gonna go 2099. It's gonna push over into Warrior Falls. If it's just the Wasp they play over there, great. If it's a bigger resource, Magneto. Ooh, Magneto's big. Magneto loses, we lose in the Crimson Cosmos. Ooh, that's big. Ooh, into Jubilee, into a rock. Oh, wow. Had we played that differently, like the Vulture here and then moving here, we could have won. Oddly enough, like this was an awful pull. They could have ended it for him. It's okay. We're going to round 5. High stakes rounds. Every single one is the potential do or die. We don't have Korg or Rockslide here, so a little bit unfortunate for us. I would like to do Cloak where we can actually move a card. So let's do that. We'll wait. We'll play Vulture. Next turn, we'll do Cloak. We can maneuver our cards. Okay, Lemuria's not bad. Let's do Vulture there. We have Cloak to throw into probably Hellfire Club so we don't flood our hand with Sentinels. Go Cloak, and then we'll also do an Iron Fist. If we top deck 2099, there's a chance that we can target. It does become hard to target in the right lane though, so like the Lockjaw becomes very tough to hit with the 2099 play. But that's all right. We get our Rockslide finally. Let's go ahead and do Rockslide. That's going to push into the Forge. We're not going to worry about... Actually, we're actually kind of okay with getting a Sentinel. That allows us to do a Hawk plus Sentinel, or a Shang-Chi plus Sentinel, depending on what it looks like. We're also going to move the Vulture, so this left lane becomes pretty big. Ooh, they move their Jubilee, so they can hit that with an Odin eventually. We haven't seen the Odin. I imagine it's here, though. Okay, Thor's big, and then a Wasp rotation is the only thing that's left that's viable. What do they rotate into? We did shuffle a couple of rocks in, making... beautiful. It's so beautiful when a plan comes together. They have 5 cards left in their deck, so that's a 10 power play. In case they didn't get Mjolnir, we're going to do Miles into mid, because we can't do it into Hellfire Club, primarily. We're going to do Hawk into the right lane, and hope for the best. They rotate 1 card here, Dr. Doom. Oh, wait, depending on what that flips into. Jane Foster is fine. We lose Forge, we win the left lane. We should... Oh, we lose the right lane because of Jane Foster pulling out some of those cards and some of that resource. Oh no, this is not how we go down. This is not the end of our story, you guys. That was a good flip. The Dr. Doom was a bold call without having any of those 0 costs in hand. It was bold. I respect it though. All right, we have the Vulture, we have Ghost Spider to pull it over. That way we can get some additional card draw and prevent them from getting their card draw. Ooh, actually, we just Iron Fist into Vulture, into Rockslide on 4 to add that disruption. It's a pretty good setup. We haven't seen 2099. Ooh, and then New York just gives us that viability of moving Vulture again, of moving 2099, of that just uncertainty that the opponent will have. So they play 1 card in the left lane. I don't think they've had the Lockjaw plus Wasp single time this this bout, which is okay. Well, we're okay with that. Let's go Rockslide for the disruption. We always want to prioritize the disruption. Having them not be able to draw into Mjolnir, having them not be able to flip consistently, pull consistently with Jubilee. Ooh, they top deck into Mjolnir. It was massive. Do they get the extra here? They do. They get the extra card draw from Asgard. Wow. That was a beautiful top deck. I don't like it, but I understand it. We're going to go Shang-Chi onto the Thor. Before they have the chance to move it into New York, we're going to go Shang-Chi on the Thor. We could always do 2099 plus Ghost Spider on the last turn, lull them into a false sense of security, but we would, of course, have to draw 2099, which we don't have yet. Take out Thor. That's going to take away any potential for an Odin play. The Lockjaw into the Wasp rotates into a Rock. Please, we need just 1 solid. Okay, Jubilee into a Rock. Oh no, Chavez is big. That's unfortunate. The Vulture becomes 12, big, and then I don't know if this is it, but that's what we're gonna fight for. If they do a Dr. Doom, we will be fine. Magneto. Oh, really? Pull all of our power. You hit all of our cards there, man. The Zabu plus Ghost Spider in the left lane was the route. That Magneto pull can be so devastating. So some versions do cut the Magneto, but it, like on decks that it works against, it can give you those winning lines that otherwise were not there. So they've staged a really good comeback here. This is not the side of this comeback that I want to be on, though. Aunt May's gives us a good boost to our Vulture right off the bat. We've seen almost their entire deck. I assume the last card is Odin, but we haven't seen it. So Vulture is going to enable our Miles next turn. We could do Polaris plus Miles. And a Vulture, of course, is going to get that initial early bump or boost. Going into the expansion lane, we're both going to have a random card here. Into the Thor that will eventually become above 9 power. So even if they don't play Mjolnir, we can target that with our Shang-Chi. Valkyrie is so brutal here. Oh no. And the order that it dropped in here too, so unfortunate. I'm so sad. We're very, very sad about that. Like super, super sad. Oh man, I can't believe that X-Mansion location was that beautiful. They do flip the rock, so they don't have any bad pulls. They now have a 9 power in 3 of the lanes. It's going to come down, most likely it's going to come down to an if-or type of game where we're making the decision of, which one is more worthwhile. We're going to do Hawk in the right lane. We have the Shang-Chi to steal back the left. Wait, no, the last card is probably their Evolved Hulk, and we haven't seen that this game. No Odin, but Evolved Hulk. So they go with Dracula here. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. That allows us to do Shang-Chi to take out this lane, and then I'll lean in with a Cloak. I was going to do Shang-Chi over here, but the Dracula is too much of a threat. A Magneto, again, devastating, would absolutely wreck us, but we're going to hope for the best. Okay, the Doctor Doom rotation, if it's something giant here, no, a rock, that is fine. We are able to finally steal away a game with the Cloak play. Oh my goodness, that was the most stressful couple of rounds in my life. Them going down early and then staging that comeback was brutal, but we will take the 7-round victory against Kyrov. And just like that, we are done with battle number 3, moving on to battle number 4, and then my mortal enemy, my mortal nemesis, battle number 5. All right, so straight into battle number 4, 2099 Hawk. Let's make this thing happen. Let's get this done and dusted. All right, next up we have emotes. For battle number 4, we have emotes. The first location is Stark Tower. We get our 2099. Getting a Zabu here would be beautiful as a way to enable our rockslide and a few of our other cards. We don't though. So it looks like we're on it's another high Evo deck. Oh, this whole run has been high Evo. At least this one looks like it's like an Affliction style. Still unfortunate. We're gonna go Vulture into mid, just because. Starlight Citadel will shift the location, so they're not gonna get the bonus on from the Stark Tower on their Shocker. The Shocker is one that I've never been sold on as utility. Like even in like a She-Not style deck, so inconsistent. The Wave is scary though. Okay, nobody can play for this lane over here. What do they go with? They snapped into this. I'm gonna go with a Hawk. I'm very confused though. Doc Ock is wild. This is a Galactus list, yeah? No way. Bro went with a Galactus? So wild. In Infinite, and a high Evo Galactus at that. Has to be. With the Shocker, the Wave, the Doc Ock has to be. Ooh, and we're protected from a Shang-Chi now. I don't know if they have one, but we're protected in this left lane, unless it got hit by Shocker. 2099 is something. How deep do we play into this middle location? I think we only go one. I think we only go one of the two. We'll go Korg into mid, rockslide. That way we can potentially get above 7, because I swear, this is a potential Galactus deck. Somehow, some way, I feel like this has found his way in. Null is wild. Wow. I don't know what kind of cook my friend is cooking here. They're cooking with fire. 5, 6, 7 does not beat this middle lane. High Evo Hulk beats us here. Ooh. We have to retreat out of this one. So I imagine there's 2 cards that they have. With the Null, they have to have Death. They have to have Galactus. They probably have the Evolved Hulk. If this is a High Evo Hulk deck, I imagine. So there's 2 cards that beat us here. Do they have them? Probably. There's no way we lose against this. Such an interesting cook Emotez has going on. Hopefully we can hold our own. A well-timed 2099 might be nice against a Null. Otherwise, we have to... I don't know. All right, we do get a lot of disruption here. We have the Korg, Zabu, Rockslide really early on, which are all phenomenal. They can't Doc Ock in a lane too freely, especially if they're going Galactus. This one is just so disruptive to them. So they do accept the snap. We have Korg. We'll go Rockslide. Ooh, Death's Domain. Do they have any way to play for Death's Domain? We do. but I don't know if they do. Okay, so instead of doing rockslide on 3, we're gonna unfortunately have to pass that up. We're gonna do Zabu. On 3, we can do our Hawk in the left lane. On 4, we can do Iron Fist plus rockslide. That way we at least are fighting for this location. I like the disruption early, but it is what it is. The Electro, so definitely a Galactus list. 1-800-GO Galactus. But unless they have, I don't know what they could have. Wolverine, Nimrod, but it becomes like, how do they fit all that in? I don't think they do. We are gonna we get a reload on the rockslide and the Iron Fist and the Korg. Beautiful. Oh no, rude Doc Ock there. So we'll be rude right back. You're gonna be rude to us, we'll send you more rocks, my friend. They can easily beat us here, but I don't think they can beat us in the other lanes. I think we are. I think we're set. I think we're pretty comfy, cozy. Let's do Korg let's do Korg here just because we want to. We have the Iron Fist, but we're not going to utilize it. We're going to save the Shang-Chi into the Dark Dimension. We will probably... No, I think they'll have initiative going to this last turn. As long as they play something here, they'll probably have initiative going to this last turn. What a strange cook. I love seeing these interesting builds. Like, you get so set on seeing like the same meta decks over and over and over again, that it's interesting when you see like a unique cook. And so we will take that win where we can. Us getting that power into the Death's Domain, I think was big. I think that was pivotal. So we get our 2099, which is going to be decent. Could be decent. Dream Dimension is also tough for their cook. Their interesting cook. Okay, so Warrior Falls. We would have to have something big there. These locations do become scary. They can Doc Ock into Warrior Falls. That becomes very sketchy very fast. The Shocker, ooh, we lose our Shang-Chi. What do they lose? Evo. They don't lose anything of note or of merit, of value. We do have the 2099 that we can then yank with Ghost Spider. But then they have a potential null. Nah, we're going to back out of this one. Losing the Shang-Chi is just one of those really big resources, knowing that they're going for Doc Ock. They're going for High Evo. They're going for Death, which I think they probably slot in Death, but I don't think they get to use it all that often, in all honesty. And so let's go ahead and we're going to rinse and repeat. Sewer System comes down. Not terrible for either one of us. Space Throne is iffy. If we can get Polaris, we can cap out the Space Throne, and that would be beautiful. We're going to do Zabu into the Sewer System. Because they'll have, what, Shocker here? Polaris would pull that thing right over and just be happy about it. I've never wanted a Polaris more in my life than I do right now. I guess let's go Korg. We play this one slowly because Sanctum Sanctorum. They can't fight for the Sanctum Sanctorum, though. So their Galactus is not going to be very impactful here. So 2099. We do that and we yank it over here, but do we want to becomes the bigger overbearing question of, I don't know. We know they have to have Shang-Chi in their deck. But if they don't play something soon, they're not going to be able to play anything at all. Shocker could have hit Galactus. It could be played into Space Throne. I don't know. Shuri. Interesting. Let's go Cloak instead of Ghost Spider. That way we have the flexibility to move it, not move it. But I'm curious what they're going with in the Shuri play. I would not have expected the Shuri. Maybe I don't know this cook as much as I thought I knew this cook. Okay. It's not big. Not big, it's not great, but I think it's what we're going to lean in on. If they go Galactus into mid, we have the 8 power in our Hawk. We are going to move 2099 over. Maybe he hits High Evolutionary, maybe not. Maybe they go Null, but I don't think Null is going to be the perfect resource here either. So it does hit High Evo, beautiful. Hawk comes down, and it's the Shang-Chi, and it's below Shang-Chi range. And so we do see the Shang-Chi counter, but it's not going to be enough. Such an interesting cook. I have to be careful about every single match. Every single one could be the make or break. Like that Shuri, I would have never seen coming. Like I don't know what else they have up their sleeve. Maybe a Nimrod, but I don't see enough destruction in this deck for a Nimrod. I don't know. The Shocker every once in a while could hit a good target of like making a cheaper Galactus, making a cheaper Null. But I think in general, it's inconsistent. Zabu comes down. We have the Hawk. Bar Sinister is brutal. They could do Doc Ock over and over and over again there. They could do Galactus there. Like we could do a couple of Hawks. We could do Vulture into a Cloak to move them around the board. But is it worth it? Do we want to? If they have Destroyer, Electro into Destroyer, it's awful. We're gonna retreat out of that one. I think the massive Electro into either Galactus or Destroyer, it's not worth it. It's not worth taking the extra risk. They did snap, but we're gonna take it tactically, retreat out for the 2. It was enticing to stay, but I don't think it was gonna be worth it. Okay, so Sinister London. We can send Vulture all around the world. We know they have the Shang-Chi though, which is going to be a concern. Iron Fist, Vulture, Iron Fist, Vulture. Like we can continue to move the Vulture slowly but surely. They have the Shocker. That's going to continue to create discounts in their cards, which is scary. We move the Vulture. We get an 8 power copy. That way, whenever we do a Cloak, and we can honestly do a double Cloak. And just make that last turn just monstrosity of mayhem. But we want to be careful of the Shang-Chi's. Oh no. Shocker multiple times is so scary. Okay, so they only go twice. Whatever was in their left-hand side is now... So if it was 6, it is now 4. And they can use it this turn. Scary. Super scary. I think we shoot for trying to win this lane. I don't know. Double Hawk sounds cool, but we didn't get early Korg for that disruption, so... Wave is wild. Okay. So 1 card on this next turn. We get our Korg, we get some draw, but it's not huge. So we can't do super cool stuff here. So what are they going to go with? A double Shuri? We don't have the Shang-Chi either. 1 out of 4, we draw it. Or the Iron Fist in the movable card. So I guess that's a 2 out of 4 that we draw into the resource we need. I don't like it. It's sketchy, because if they do Null this turn, or if they do High Evo Hulk this turn, we destroy it. Fantastic. We're celebrating. They come back behind it with a Null, and we just buffed up their Null. It's awful. It's awful, awful. We're going down slowly but surely with these 2 cubes in high stakes rounds. I think that's 2 in a row that we've retreated out of. We got to find our point to attack. And those were not that. Those were not them. Now Luke's bar. Decent. If we can get an Iron Fist to elevate it. Sokovia, we lose our Shang-Chi. They do lose their Doc Ock. That's unfortunate. I don't want to go down to 1. That would be 5 back-to-back, so we're going to stick this one out. I don't think we have a fantastic shot. I think it is what it is. We don't have a way to enable our moves just yet. Ghost Spider would be big, but we'll see. They go Galactus. We finally see the Galactus. It's the black and white. Ooh, Kirby Crackle? That's a lot of Galactus, my friend. Okay, so we do get Ghost Spider now. So we do have a way to reach Luke's bar. So we dodge the we have to dodge the Shang-Chi. Let's go Hawk. And then we can go 2099 plus Ghost Spider. I think is going to be big. The Shuri is interesting. It surely is interesting. I think no matter what we play here, it's good. So maybe we just do, instead of 29.9, we do Cloak, we do Ghost Spider, and then we do a Korg. We'll pull the Cloak over. I think this is what we go with. We pull the Cloak over, we win Luke's bar, we should win this left lane. What do they go with after the Shuri? That's been my biggest concern. This is for the tournament life. Or not the tournament. This is for the Infinity Conquest life. Whoa, they play in the left lane. Wild. Wild, wild left lane. So far, so good. The Korg will buff up the Hawk. Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi takes it out, but we win the right and then we win the middle location. Wild. Super wild. The Shuri was just like I guess a misdirect. I'm glad we had the lead over there, even after the Shuri play. We will take it. And that brings us back down to even. We are still in this match in the Infinity Conquest Gauntlet. Match number 4, grueling our way, slogging our way through, trying to find a way to win. Let's go Korg here. We'll do it into the right lane. We do Zabu next, probably into Asgard, unless this is a good advantageous location for us. Eternity range isn't necessarily good or advantageous, but I would say rockslide is massive here. We want to spread our power enough so that they can't get a reliable Galactus. So how do they... Okay, the Shocker. Shocker's big. Shocker's... Ooh, Onslaught Citadel is also pretty big. Let's go rockslide here. We try and win the Eternity range. We have Hawk to use in the left lane to win Asgard. Now, if they do a wave, I think we pivot and we go for Onslaught Citadel instead. So they did use the wave. If they have Spider-Man, right? If we choose wrong here, we choose really, really wrong. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I'm going to pick the Onslaught Citadel, though. But if they do get this to trigger, they probably win this round. Beautiful. Oh no, that's the null. Okay. So if any cards get destroyed, we need to have Shang-Chi at the ready. So I guess we could try to force it with like the 2099. It would only bump them up to 6 though. Okay. So let's go Hawk in the left lane. We can actually do Hawk and move. No, let's not play the Hawk. Let's not play the Hawk. Because we're worried about Shang-Chi. Let's do this. This still blocks Galactus. Does not block a Doc Ock, though. It takes away our Shang-Chi. Takes away our Hawk. Ah, man. The left lane is brilliantly in our favor. But mid is not. I gotta retreat out of this one. The Doc Ock was too much. With us having a hand that generally doesn't want to be, that generally stays pretty low, Doc Ock can be so devastating. And that brings us down to 2. It is tough losing two-thirds of your health. But without having a way to deal with Null, only having 3 power for this middle location, it wasn't viable. It wasn't something we could do. Even though we had sent rocks early and often, they did overcome us. Unfortunate. And maybe we should have stuck that one out. I don't know. We'll never know. Right now, we don't have any of our early cards, so very awful. Okay, so the Shocker in the Icebox. Let's go Vulture into... I would say into Quantum Realm, but you don't really want to do that. Go Vulture into the Icebox, I guess. Electro, does it stick? Can it stick? Beautiful. All right, something falls our way. Let's go Rockslide here. Go Rockslide here. They could potentially do... Wow. The Doc Ock is brutal. Does it pull our Shang-Chi again? It does. Man, stop pulling our Shang-Chi. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. A null becomes almost too much to overcome because we destroyed the tin. So it'd be 12 power here. Nothing's been destroyed in Danger Room, so maybe we don't play into the Danger Room. Maybe we do this. What do they have in Quantum Realm? Null. Null is big. Null is really, really big. But look at this. We can do some monstrosity. A monstrous play here. We go 2099. We yank it over into the Quantum Realm. Right back to the Quantum Realm. We're going to send them. We go ahead and move. Let's go ahead and move our Vulture as well. It leaves a decent here, here, here. 1-800 null be gone. No way, bro. Now there's a chance that they maneuver some of their cards and they opt to try to do like a Galactus play. Wait. No. Wait, okay. I thought we were done. I thought we were done for it. Came down to the tiebreaker. We tied in mid, courtesy of Cloak not getting destroyed, of Vulture buffing up. We had the 10 power lead over here, courtesy of the 2099. Wow. Okay, I thought we were done for. Round number 10. I don't think I've ever seen a round number 10. Absurd. Absurdity. The Doc Ock against this deck is so tough to beat. Oscorp Tower, ooh. If they have Electro, and they send us Electro, that's going to be so tough. At that point, I don't... Ooh. Project Pegasus, though. I don't know. They could do a Galactus in any of the lanes now. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. We keep our Ghost Spider and Cloak. They could still do it in Oscorp Tower, assuming we're not going to play there. I don't know. What do they get? What do they get here? Electro. Electro is just what I would have assumed. So Doc Ock does come down. I guess not great. It caps us out in that left lane. Our hand is empty now. Our fate is in your hands. Project Pegasus. I hope this turns into Oscorp Tower, not Project Pegasus. That is not what you want to see. All right, we are back on curve. The Doc Ock is just so rude. And very like the Project Pegasus. This was definitely a Galactus game. Oh man, another Infinity Conquest run ends prematurely. At this point, we're just playing on curve and hoping for a miracle. Null over there is big, but we're alive for now. They haven't destroyed anything, but neither have we. Hulk smashes down into mid, and then we get the evolved, not the evolved. We get the Hawk. So Hawk is going to be 12. Only 17. So we have to fight for it over here, but they can just easily play something into the null lane. Maybe they don't. Had we played Rockslide over here, we would have had the reach in this lane. There's no way we could have known that, though. No way we could have known. Gotta check one more time. 12 plus 5. Gonna be 17. Never gonna do it. Which lane do they fight for? Ooh, they have a Shang-Chi of their own. Ooh, I don't know. It's a tough one. Comes down to this, though. Do they Shang-Chi? America Chavez. No way. Emotes, that is one heck of a deck that you have brewing there. That is one cook that you that you have going on. Let's go ahead in 10 rounds, 10 grueling rounds. We are finally done with battle number 4. I can only imagine what monstrosity awaits us in battle number 5. Let's go ahead and we're gonna jump straight on into it. All right, so queuing up straight away, 2099. We're gonna go ahead and let it choose a random avatar. If we win, we may not win. We may not win. I've lost more in this battle than anywhere else on the Infinity Conquest run. Okay, a couple minutes wait time, but we have Picasso 3. Oh no, hopefully we don't lose to Picasso. Looking at it, I don't think they're running a high Evo deck. It's a good start. I haven't seen any orange shimmers. We do hit them with the Korg. Vibranium Mines is decent because we do already have our Hawk. I'm going to go ahead and do Cloak just for tempo as we get a feel for what the opponent has in store or in their deck. I don't play anything. High Evo Lockjaw would be my first thought, but we don't see the shimmer. Beautiful. Beautiful. That was almost very, very scary. Okay. I guess we're stacking into Necrotia, which feels awful. But it is what it is. Do they finally play a card? They do. Sunspot. Okay. We could, on the last turn, potentially, we could Polaris pull the Sunspot out and then replace it with, and then play like a Vibranium or something over there. Let's do our 2099. Next turn, we'll probably go ahead and do Hawk. Just because if they play for the Vibranium Mines, it's going to be tough. Okay, so Iron Lad hits Wolfsbane. Picasso. What do you have cooking? What do you have cooking up in your under your sleeve? You cheeky minx. Let's go ahead and do our Hawk. I'm going to snap into it. Let's go ahead and do Hawk in the left lane because Vibranium Mines is going to cause that to ramp up dramatically. We have the Polaris to pull the Sunspot out, and then the Zabu to replace in the Space Throne, giving us the easy win there. And then I think the Hawk could do the heavy lifting. So early start, we get one bar of health, but that doesn't mean a lot. Miles Morales, Howard the Duck. You have a very... You are cooking up something very special, Picasso. Running the Iron Lad, the Howard the Duck, which is good. I mean, it gives you good insight into if Iron Lad is viable, and just having Howard the Duck early is sometimes an issue. Let's go Vulture. We'll rip it over into Asgard next turn. Okay, so the Wolfsbane does come down. Do they have an Odin? Is this a Howard the Duck Iron Lad Odin on reveal deck? Bro. Wild cook you got. That is phenomenal. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we'll yank over. Ooh, they snapped and then didn't play anything on 4. Interesting. We do get our 2099. We can take out one of these cards because we have the Iron Fist. That was our last turn, our last card that we played. I guess we do. We could do. They could do like a White Tiger and then an Odin, but I don't think that's good enough. 2099 is going to take away Wolfsbane here, guaranteed, no doubt about it. Okay, so they do play for Asgard. Interesting. What do they have? Wolfsbane, guaranteed. Okay. Black Panther gets pretty wild pretty quick. If they hit that with an Arnim Zola, that's 16 and 16. So if we did this, that's going to be 5, so it's going to be 10, it's going to be 15. We'd be 17 in this lane. If they hit this with an Odin, we win this lane. That's my read. That's my read. We're sticking to it. An Arnim Zola. Is that an early 8 cubes against Picasso? Arnim Zola. Arnim Zola it is, baby. Let's go. We may break the bad luck streak that we had in battle number 5. That is 1 bar of health very early on. There were several times in this slog up through this infinite match that I thought we were out. I thought we were down and out, but we're still here. We are still here. We are still cooking. That 8 cube early feels good. We have the Korg to add some disruption. Kiln becomes kind of questionable knowing they have the Arnim Zola. But outside of that, I think we're okay. Lemuria, we're not going to reveal any cards here. Do Polaris. We could do Vulture. I think we're going to do Polaris to try and yank like a Star-Lord or something out of Kiln after the fact. No, they don't play anything. First 3 turns they don't play. Picasso. That's wild. That's wild, my friend. Players, they go with Odin or Wong? Ooh, Wong was the play they were going with. Let's fight for initiative, because if they go Black Panther, we have the Shang-Chi, and then we just win. We just finish our way in here. So I'm actually going to do Iron Fist into the Hawk here to push it over into Clintar. That's what we're going to do instead. That way we can enable the Miles Morales. I do want to do Shang-Chi. I think that is probably the route that they're going to go with here, is the Black Panther. They could go with like the Black Panther. And so we have initiative. We take out their Black Panther. We take out the game. This should be our path to victory. This should be the victory lap that we have going on. Unless they have something wild, this should be where it ends. Let's go ahead and lock in the Shang-Chi play. We take out the Black Panther. The Arnim Zola is now much less efficient, much less effective. We are able to steal this game exceedingly quick, which feels good. Picasso, the Shang-Chi, the slight being able to go over that 16 power Black Panther the first round. It was a tough break. It was a tough break. You will get them next time. But for this time, let's see what avatar this one ends up hitting from our 2099 run, which was honestly, very heavy on the Hawk. 2099 is more of that. Sometimes he adds some incredible value. So we have the Infinity Avatar, the question mark, the mystery. What do we unlock? Ah, what an ugly one. If you guys enjoy the Colleen Wing one, I apologize. I just called it ugly, but we're never going to use this. And that is where we're going to go ahead and end the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It feels good to finally get another infinite victory off of our chest. And I don't know if there's any way that you can see the medals. No, not on this view. We have 16,000 medals to spend. An absurd number of medals to spend. But we are enjoying the infinite. We are enjoying the challenge. I hope that you guys are still enjoying it as well. Let me know how you're feeling about Conquest in the comment section down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.